What's up, everybody? Let me get Morgan on here and get everything set up, and then we'll get started for episode 2 of our AWAKEN Vlogcast. So I'm still here. Just give me a second while Morgan joins. Says you're here, Morgan. I don't see you. Oh, it still says adding.
Okay. Hey! Yay! It's working. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. There's like no sound on my end.
Oh,
That's
you can't
weird.
hear me?
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Let me see if it's something on my phone.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
There. Yep, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Good.
Weird. Okay, let me share this. I'm sharing this real quick into the event so everybody that was on the event can
perfect.
see. Okay.
And I'll share it to my page.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Hi, guys. Okay. Should close this. Okay. Gotta get everything set up. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna share my page. I'm like looking at myself. It's like Inception.
That's really weird.
I know. Okay, good. I've got it on my wall, so that's good. Let's see if people are joining. That's good. So it's 8:30. Hopefully my kids will stay in bed. Daddy's here this week. He's not out traveling, so he can wrangle any loose children that want to get out. Hey, Bria. How are you? Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, I hope I picked the right group. We'll see.
We'll see. Some random groups like, what is this? What's happening?
I don't know. It's saying it won't allow it in the group. So.
Really? That's weird.
It's weird.
Let's see. I wonder. No, I don't want to start a watch party. Can't share it to, okay, sharing an event.
Yeah, that's what I tried to do, but then it was like, yeah, it's not allowed.
Is it called AWAKEN Vlogcast series? Is that the event?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep, and it's the first one, but.
Okay, doesn't allow people to post on their timeline. That's weird.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, we're still figuring all this out, so it's okay. I'm sure we'll run into a few hiccups here and there. So.
Oh, I think it worked. I just copied the link and posted it in the discussion. I think it's in there now.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's a better way to do it then.
Okay, so.
Sweet.
As far as I know, it's live. If not, sorry, guys.
It's okay. We're learning. It's only episode 2. We're just trying to figure it all out. Facebook Live is weird sometimes. I've had all kinds of issues with it. So.
Yep. That's why we don't have our banner tonight. So you guys already know. So
I know.
It's all good.
It's okay. It's okay. Anyway, how's your day been? Has it been a good day?
Yeah, it's been pretty good actually.
Yeah, that's good. Our weather's been our weather's been nicer. We've done more outside time with the kids, which is good for them to be in the energy and vibrations of nature. So, and not like right in my ear. They're loud vibrations right in my ear. So,
for sure.
Hey, Jennifer.
So officially, welcome everybody. Now that we're here and going,
we're good to go. Yes. And I'm not coughing this time. I have a cough drop just in case, but
You sound way better.
Yeah. It will not be like it was last week. So that makes me happy. Yeah.
So today is episode 2 of our vlogcast of AWAKEN Vlogcast, and we're covering vibrations today.
Yes.
So a couple things we're going to cover in this one are just like, what are vibrations? Why are they important? How our thoughts and emotions can be vibrations. Then we'll go into like the law of attraction and how stuff like that works. Because everything is vibrations.
Everything.
Literally. We are vibrations. We are vibrating. We look solid, but we're not. So
I know.
I'm excited about all of that.
Me too. I know I'm going to learn some more too. I know I was telling Ashton before, I was like, I'm not like a super expert on this. So, and she's like, it's okay. Because she's always
I'm not
reassuring
saying
me that I'm like in my head too much. And
yeah.
so we're going to all learn together and ask questions. And that's what this is for. That's why we wanted to do this, is to just talk about things that people don't normally talk about.
Yes.
But you're probably thinking about it. You just don't know, like, who can I talk to about this weird stuff? Well, you can talk
Or
to
like
us
where to
about
start
weird stuff.
sometimes.
We love weird stuff. So, yeah.
So, and everybody, like, honestly, like, I still obviously don't know everything. There's always more to learn. So that's what I
Yes.
like about this stuff is like there's unlimited knowledge for us to tap into out there about it. So there's no
So
one
true.
that's better than the other person. They just know more about it so far.
Exactly. Oh gosh. Well, where do you want to start? Do you want to start by just how do you use vibrations like in your business? Maybe kind of share kind of what you do at Transcend and um, start there.
So definitely we use them when we're doing Reiki because all the chakras have their own vibration. And we definitely use them when we're doing our sound immersions because each of those crystal singing bowls is a different vibration or frequency
Mm-hmm.
to each of the chakras. So if somebody, we usually will do a group, you can do individual sessions, but when somebody would come in for the group session, we have the room open. Shelby has all of her crystal singing bowls out, and there's everybody's spread out, and there's different yoga mats, and they bring their blanket stuff just to be comfortable. And then they'll just lay out, and it's an hour long, but it's like a meditation basically, because people are just laying there. And as Shelby's playing the different bowls, well, that's a different vibration. So you're getting sound therapy, vibration therapy, whatever you want to call it, from those warrior chakras. So that's why you could literally be laying there, but you're still getting the impact of vibrations, if that makes sense, to clear out
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
So that's a
I've
lot of our stuff.
I've been to a few of those. I need to come to some more. Um, but it's crazy just how relaxing it is just listening. Like, I mean, I'm a mom, so I just love being able to like lay down and do nothing. But just
Yeah.
the sound, it puts you in a different just state of mind. It's really kind of wild, but it's so relaxing. And I know, at least in my case, I do go. It's like my brain just goes to a frequency, a vibration. I'm just in a different, almost like a different plane of existence.
Yeah.
If it's really incredible. And it's just from
It's
these
a
singing
meditative
bowls.
state. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so let's see, I'm thinking of a question right now. So I know there's like the crystal singing bowls that people do, but then people also have, I know I have on my phone, just different frequencies that I listen to. Is there any difference in effectiveness versus a crystal bowl in person versus an electronic sound,
I don't really
like
think
with,
so because sounds are vibration. So like a lot of people in my sessions, you know, they experience the binaural beats that maybe you don't know what that is. You could look it up. There's plenty of videos or tracks out there on YouTube, on Spotify, on iTunes, but binaural beats is what they're called. But they're all different vibrations and frequencies for different things.
Mhm.
So say for instance, you have issues sleeping, right? You could literally look up binaural beats for insomnia, and there's a specific one that's going to be a specific frequency to help you fall asleep. And I've
Mhm.
given that to a lot of my clients, and it's helped them a lot. And they're just
Mhm.
like blown away because it's sound, but it does, like you said, it gets you into this like meditative state. Like I don't know how else to explain it besides that,
Mhm.
but super
Yeah.
relaxed state. You're bringing down, you know, that like we talked about last time, the fight or flight
Mhm.
response that your body goes into sometimes, or just maybe you're really stressed or really anxious. It helps ground you and bring you back down so that you can actually have a good night's sleep. But there's different
Yes.
ones. I mean, there's ones for sleep, stress, health, like just healing, DNA and stuff like that in general. You
Mhm.
can get one specifically for each of the chakras. There's so much out there on those, really. So
I
no, I
know.
don't really think it makes a difference
Yeah.
being in person. I mean, next to a crystal bowl versus listening to binaural beats
Like in
on,
your headphones.
yeah, like headphones. That's
Okay.
actually the best way to listen to binaural beats is if you have them headphones
Mhm.
because it's playing one tone in one ear,
And the
and
other, and then that, because
in
it's
the other,
different.
and yeah, and it
Yeah.
makes your brain create the missing tone between the two, so it helps both sides of your brains communicate
Okay.
with each
I
other.
I was actually reading about that last night because I'd heard of binaural beats and I kind of knew what they were, but I never like sat down and like read anything on it. And so it was interesting that it
Mhm.
creates that third sound
Yes.
almost. And so speaking of
You've
that, what,
experienced it in sessions. That's what I play during sessions.
oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's probably, see, I didn't even know it, but I knew it
Yeah.
subconsciously. So I remember I was having um, it wasn't at Transcend, but it was a friend that she was doing, they weren't crystal bowls. They were what are the other bowls? The
Tibetan singing bowls, the
Tibetan
metal
singing
ones.
bowls. And I could hear three tones because I
Mhm.
could hear the higher one, the lower one, and then the one in the middle. And I thought, and I'd never heard that before. And I thought that was really interesting that I was like, I hear three tones, but because you really
Yeah.
had to focus on it. But when you do, it's very clearly one, two, and three. And then there's
Yeah.
the whole sound together. And I was like, that is so trippy and wild. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
That's
so
why that stuff
cool.
works. I mean, like if you have a session specifically, so the Tibetan singing bowls, usually if you have a energy session with that, right, they will actually put them on top of you, as opposed to the crystal bowls. Some people do that, some people don't, because
Hmm.
crystal bowls obviously are breakable, whereas
Right.
these other, made
I
of
would
like
break them
glass or
probably. Yeah.
something, they're metal.
Yeah.
Um, so if they fall off the table, they're not going to break. And
Yeah.
crystal singing bowls are pretty expensive, so
Yeah.
you don't
I
want to
know.
break them.
You're like, I
Um,
don't anyone touch my crystal bowls. But yeah, this
what's
one, she put the bowls on me on
yeah,
different parts of my body, and you
different
could
ones.
feel
Yeah.
the vibration, and it was so calming. And you could, like, with the feeling and the sound in your ear,
Mhm.
it was so relaxing. And you do go to this, it's like a trance-like state, almost a
Yes.
meditative state, and you feel, at least with me, I felt like invigorated and relaxed
Mhm.
after, because it physically did something to me, even though it was, people like, it's just a bowl that you put on your arm and it like made a sound. That doesn't
Vibration.
do anything. I'm like, oh, that was so powerful.
Yeah.
It was so
And
powerful.
there's also I have some here that are tuning forks. So like tuning forks, like you might have seen like with a piano or something, the little metal tuning forks. They
Uh-huh.
actually make them specifically too for each of the chakras and each of the vibrations that each of the chakras hold. So sometimes I'll use those on people, and on the end of
Okay.
the handle you have like little kind of like rubber looking. It's like a ball, but it's not, and it's so
Yeah.
you can stick it up against the person to get the vibrations going through. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I've seen those. I think I've seen like an ad on Facebook, because it's a little fork. It's got like two little things
Yep,
there, and
that's it.
you ping it and it makes this sound. And I was like, I wonder, like, I want those, just because I don't have like anything at my house where I just mess with sounds or anything. Let's see, I'm
Mhm.
just making checking our comments and stuff. Um, oh, Jennifer says she loves the Calm app for different sound recordings they have. I have that too.
Yeah,
Um,
calms them.
yeah, it's really good. I like nature sounds too, along with um, different things. And at nighttime, when the kids go to bed, we play. There's like a YouTube channel that has it's like a rain sound, but with crystal bowls, or I think it may be a
That's
Tibetan
cool.
bowl sound. And we just
Yeah.
put it on a sleep timer for like 2 hours, so the TV's not on all night. But it's really calming, and it just fills the room. And I'm like, okay, well, they're getting some vibration therapy, I suppose. And they go to sleep and they rest well. So I'm like, it's not hurting anything. But it's cool that you can find those things kind of everywhere, and how useful they are. So if you are watching live or replay, if you've had experience with that, we'd like to know, because this is a place of open conversation, and want to know your experiences, hopefully positive.
Yeah.
Um,
Or if you haven't had experiences, maybe you have questions about it before you try it or something.
yeah,
We're open to
definitely,
that too. So.
definitely. I was looking at, I was Googling some things before, so I would have things to talk about. So they have I can't ever say it right. Is it Solfeggio frequency scale? It's SOLFEGGIO.
Oh, I know what
So,
you're talking about. I don't know
so,
how to say it either, so I'm
okay.
not gonna. I'll let you slaughter that name, not me.
Yeah, let me do it. Yeah. So, Solfeggio, I don't know. That sounds better. Um, but I'm reading here. So there's like 174 hertz. So the lowest of the tones appears to be a natural anesthetic, tends to remove pain physically, energetically, as well as karmic energy. And 174 hertz frequency gives your organs a sense of security, safety, and love, motivating them to do their best.
Mhm.
And then there's different ones. There's 285 hertz, which says is useful for treating wounds, cuts, and burns. There's 396 hertz to cleanse feelings of guilt. 417 hertz is connected with resonation processes or processes of amplification to cleanse traumatic experiences. Then there's 528 hertz used to return human DNA to its original perfect state. And that fascinates me, all the DNA
I think that's the one
stuff.
I use in my system, actually.
528. That one seems really
I'm
familiar
pretty
for
sure.
me. Yeah.
I think it is. It's
528.
like DNA repair and frequency.
Yeah. Because it
So at a
says,
cellular level, like we're repairing things as we're also doing a session, like a Reiki session.
that's cool. Because it says by communicating the wanted effect with the energy support from the light, miracles will happen. Then the process of DNA reparation is followed by beneficial effects, increased energy, clarity of mind, spiritual enlightenment. That one seems, I feel like I see 528 a lot in different things when I'm just searching on YouTube or in my different apps. Then there's 639 hertz, enables creation of harmonious community and harmonious interpersonal relationships. 741 cleans the cell from toxins. It's interesting. 852 is directly connected to the third eye chakra. Like we were talking about before, there's a different frequency for each chakra. So 852 is, I guess, the third eye one for awakening and inner strength. And then 963, this tone awakens any system to its original perfect state. It's connected with the light and all-embracing spirit, enables direct experience, return to oneness, reconnects you with spirit. So that's probably a really good one for meditation if you're trying to connect with the source.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, so those are the solfeggio frequencies.
Yeah, and then there's like, like Earth is vibrating too, right? So there's things you can Google about, don't tell me, tell me if I slaughter the name, but it's like Schumann's resonance or something. So it's the vibration of Earth. So for so long, it was like 7-something hertz, right? Well, I think in like, remember this 2015, 2017, or one of those years, it jumped and they still record it like now. It's super high. You can go look up. It's like 100-something. So it went from like 7 to like 100-something. So what happens when that happens is that's what creates like, the Great Awakening or lifting collective consciousness, because it's literally our Earth, which we're on, is vibrating higher. Therefore, it's going to cause us to vibrate higher. Therefore, it's going to make our mind vibrate higher, and we're going to have more high vibration emotions and, just more connected. Like it's just changing things, because once you're vibrating higher, those lower vibrations can't exist in that higher vibration anymore.
Yeah.
And that goes for everything, but I'm just talking about Earth in general right now.
Yeah, so. That's cool. I didn't know that. Like I knew Earth had a frequency, and I think even, aren't the poles shifting too with Earth?
Oh yeah, there's so much going on right now that people don't even know or they don't talk about.
Yeah.
That's why we're here, to talk about this stuff.
You never hear about it. You're like, oh, just Earth is just this ball floating in space. Unless you're one of those flat earthers that thinks the Earth is flat. I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm like, Earth's not flat, guys. Like, come on. But yeah, there's so much going on with Earth, and it's like we don't realize how much it affects us because we are humans, like from Earth, and we're literally on the Earth. So we're in tune. Well, maybe not in tune, but we're touching the vibrations. And I wonder if that's why people can, like, you can just go through funky things and you're like, why? What is this? Why do I feel this way? And then I know you can get into all the solar things happening, and then there's all these other frequencies of Wi-Fi and like your cell phone and like everything out there. So there's all these different frequencies, and it's just sometimes you just feel like a big messy ball, and you're like, I don't know what's happening, but something's off, but you can't see it, but all kinds of things are happening.
It's still funny. Yeah. And that's why grounding works, like earthing, right? That's why people walk barefoot in the grass, because that's what they're doing. They're reconnecting to that vibration of earth, right?
That makes sense.
To realign, to center, to ground, whatever. And people just need to realize, our bodies are mostly water and vibration with water. There's a great study that you guys could, I think there's a YouTube video about it now. Dr. Emoto, okay? He's a scientist. that he was talking about words, which that's something I wanted to cover tonight. Thoughts, words, how they're all of different vibrations, right?
Mm-hmm.
He did this study, and you guys might have seen the one he did with rice. He'll put rice and some water in a jar, and he'll stick it, and he'll say negative things to this one jar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other jar, he'll say only good things to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he like same time puts them in the jar at the same time, and over time, that one he's only speaking negative starts like molding and rotting, right?
Yeah.
The other one who's only speaking positive things, it doesn't. It stays fresh. He did this also with water, though. So he spoke good things, right, into this one glass of water or jar of
Mm-hmm.
water. And then he froze it. And then he took another jar and said all these negative, nasty things into it and froze it. Then he took the crystals, the water crystals, after they were frozen, put it under the microscope to see the difference between the two things. And
Mm-hmm.
the jar that he spoke only good things to, when he put that under the microscope, the crystal was like beautiful, like perfectly formed and everything. Then he took the one where he saw all these negative things and put it under the microscope. It was ugly. It wasn't even really formed completely. Like there was just all these things. So it makes
Yeah.
you wonder, what our thoughts actually do to our body that we don't realize. And that's why I work with people like rewiring their mind and thoughts, because mindset is huge. Like people don't realize it really does affect everything.
Oh yeah.
Because
And if
it's
you
vibrations that we're putting out there.
exactly, and you think like as a parent, you have kids, and like think of if you can do that to water or rice, or I've seen it done with plants too. Like just think of
Oh yeah.
what you're like a human kid, like all, and then you're programming them, and then they
Yep.
grow up and have different issues, and then they got to reprogram, and it's I mean and I've seen different, it sounds bad, like memes on Facebook, but they're really powerful. There's like one of like a kid, and there's like a picture of a parent with like it's like a hand coming out, but it's like words like into the brain. And it's just like
Yeah.
you really do like affect people, especially
Words
children.
aren't just words like people think they are.
Right.
There's vibration and energy attached to them.
They're powerful, and they do affect the subject that is receiving whatever message that it is. And I think that's
And
one of the
the one who's giving
reasons. Exactly. And I think that's why I'm so hard on myself as a mom, knowing these things. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I said a bad word in front of them, like I'm going to screw them up. And but I'm aware of it, and my intentions are, you know what, I'm going to, I'm not perfect. I'm going to fail sometimes, but my intention is to always try better and to be aware of this and speak nice things to them, and to, like if I do make a mistake, just say, hey, you know what? I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I yelled. I shouldn't have done that. And just being aware of that energy, those frequencies, I think it at least gives me peace that maybe I'm counteracting what negativity I may have put out there earlier.
Well, intentions are everything too. So even if you say something and you're not saying it with a negative intent, that does really change it.
Yeah.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. Things we say or how we do things.
That's a good point. That's a good point too.
So even like you having negative thoughts about yourself though with your kids, like that's affecting your body.
No, it is. I know. That negative self-talk, that's hard to overcome, because well, just all the expectations that we have, and like we have to be this certain way, we have to look a certain way, parent a certain way, eat a certain way. You're just bombarded with all these things, and so you have your whole mind is just messed up with like all these things of what's it supposed to be, and it can really bum you out sometimes. But when you take a step back and you're at least aware of it, because awareness is like a huge step, just like, okay, I know this exists, I know I'm aware of this, and then you can start to bring that positivity back, because it's kind of like a muscle that you work out a little bit. And so when that negative self-talk, which happens daily, it's a daily struggle, when that starts to come in, the other one's like, no, you're doing fine, you're aware, like it's okay. So and that takes less and less effort now, which is a good sign, because I think we all struggle with that, just for whatever reason.
It's like you said, though, it is a muscle. It's a mental muscle. And I still do that every day with certain things. Like it doesn't mean that those other things aren't going to come up, but it changes how you respond to it, so that your other dialogue inside is responding already for you. Like, well, that's not how I really feel. Like, I know I'm doing a good job. Like, so you're already experiencing that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It is awesome. It makes me proud of myself. I like, pat
should be
myself on the back. Yeah.
I'll do that.
And I know you're really good at that too. I know when I come see you, because I've been seeing you for 2 years almost.
Nope.
Going on 2
Almost.
years. That's crazy. And it's nice to have somebody that can spot that immediately, even quicker than I can, be like, no, that's not what you really like. Don't say it like
Yeah.
that. That's not the truth.
Well, I'm an outsider, right? It's easier for
Right.
me to spot it because I'm not in it.
Yeah.
You're in it.
Yeah. Why is that so hard? Why is it so hard to like to see things? It just, I don't know. It's just, it's a
I don't
weird
think it's hard.
concept.
I think it's just, if your perspective is you don't know it's even a thing that's going on, like it's your subconscious mind just running. So it's harder for you to
Yeah.
spot it because it's just a program. It's already going, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm a third party looking in, I'm like, oh, I see that program running. That does not serve you. So here, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And then once we talk about it, then there's the awareness. So it already switches
Yeah.
and changes a little bit just by you having the awareness to it. It's
That's
like,
true.
like when you were in school and you had to take the big test, right? At least this is for me.
Yeah.
If I was,
Oh God, I
I
hate
had
tests.
no time taking tests.
I hate tests
So
so
for
much.
me, if I was sitting in a room, right, to take a test, and as soon as I would hear, the old clocks that were on the wall in the schools,
Oh, yes.
as
Yes.
soon as I noticed that tick, I
Oh, yeah.
couldn't unnotice that freaking tick
Oh, and I
while I
was
was trying to
there.
take my test.
You're like, it's
So
so
it's,
quiet. I can hear the clock ticking.
yes. And then that's all I could focus on. So my point with all of that was once you bring awareness to it, you can't be unaware to it now, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
That's a good point. That was terrifying. I hated silence in school. Like just the
Yeah.
silent. It was awful. Like my stomach would grumble and I'd like get super sweaty and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't do it. I hated it. I hated the silence. I wonder if it was, I don't know,
It could have
lack,
been
was
something
it, maybe it was like lack of vibrational stimulation or something, like, and just that like
that, or maybe
annoying
it was
ticking.
silent outside, but you were so like aware and awake inside.
Yeah.
There wasn't really silence, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
Such a
I did not
concept.
like that environment. That did not mesh with me. I did not like it. Yeah, that was.
Is that why you homeschool now? Like
Uh,
for your kids, not the only reason, obviously, but like for your kids' experience, like you want them to have a different experience than you did, maybe?
I do. I was homeschooled from fourth grade to about eighth grade, because my
Oh,
parents moved, or my dad moved around a lot for his job. And so that was awesome. But then I went to high school when I came back. And I think having been in the homeschool environment, going to high school, it was fine. I wanted to do it, but looking back now, I'm like, that was quite a difference and probably
yes.
caused me a lot of stress. And so
Yeah.
I do
Well, that's what we could
like,
have said is traumatic in a sense, right?
I suppose so. And so I think that, I mean, that could be one subconscious reason why we homeschool. Because I'm like, I don't want them like stuck in that, seems like it's just like a prison cell almost, where you're just stuck there
Yeah.
and you have to sit in your chair and you have to be quiet and you can't move
Yeah.
around. Like it just like makes me freak out a little bit thinking about it. So yeah, I don't want to put them in that environment, because I hated it so much. It just brought me so much stress.
It
Yeah.
is cool that some of the schools now are doing like meditations and stuff like that. Like they're replacing
Yes.
detention with meditations, and they're seeing such a drastic change in how
Yes.
the students are acting. I think that's pretty cool.
I love reading those
I wish everybody did that, but
stories. Yes, because it does a lot. It brings self-awareness. So many people don't have that self-awareness because I don't know. I guess it starts in childhood, and this isn't knocking any parenting style, but I was reading something today that, we want adults now like us, like to be self-reliant and have emotional intelligence. And yet we were told like, go to your room, go to the corner,
Yeah.
stop crying,
Don't
like
cry.
no emotions, tough it up.
Yes.
And now we're like,
Yeah.
well, be emotional and in touch. And you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. Like I didn't learn that as a kid.
You got to relearn. You got to rewire.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
again, more stress on me as a parent. You're like, oh my gosh, like, yes, I get mad sometimes. And my instinct is to send them to their room. So I'm just go to your room. It's very overstimulating when they're screaming. But then on that flip side, I'm like, they're having emotions. They're huge emotions in a tiny little body. And they don't
They don't know how to deal with it yet.
they don't know how to deal with it. So it's my job to help them with that, but I can barely control my own emotions. So it's just this weird awareness storm that happens, but I'm aware of it and I can make those changes daily and be open and talk with them about it so that they're not 30 years old, like trying to, you know, trying how to talk to their spouse, but they didn't know how because they didn't grow up with it. So there's a lot of, I think, learning and unlearning going on with our generation, just with us and with how we're raising our kids. It's a very weird time to be a parent. It's just it's exciting, but it's also weird because I'm trying to teach things to somebody while I'm trying to teach myself and unlearn different things. I'm grateful for myself.
It probably helps you learn new things though, because maybe your kids are experiencing it and you're like, it helps you revisit like, oh, well, do I really feel that way? Or is this really how I want to handle it? So it's kind of cool.
It is cool. It's also very stressful too, which is why we got to just learn things and self-care and being aware of meditation and vibrations and how they affect everything. Like when you really stop and think about it, the world that we live in, we're so immersed in all these things that we're not even aware of. We don't, because you can't see vibrations, you can't see sound, and yet they affect you so deeply. And we're just trying to figure everything out, and it's very confusing and overwhelming, but also really beautiful at the same time. It's
that's actually one of the things I wrote down to talk about, is that like why vibrations are so important. And I said that, you know, people live by the old saying, seeing is believing. But we don't have to see something to believe it. Like oxygen is real. We don't have to see it. We know it's there. We're breathing.
I know.
Gravity is real. We're stuck to the earth, right?
Yeah.
But it's actually the other way around, and believing will make you see things. Like knowing that it's there. Like, oh yeah, I know it's there. So when we talk about vibrations, like just believing that, you know it's there. And then it's also, I wrote down what you said, that most people only choose to look at what they know and what they can see, and they only rely on their five senses. They're not willing to keep an open mind, like, well, because I can't see it or hear it or smell it or whatever, is it really there? When even as humans, as much as we can interpret, like our eyes can still only see so many colors, right? There's so many colors out there that our eyes can't actually see. And what's blue to you might not be blue to me, or it might be a different shade. Like it's
I had that discussion with Jeremy. I was like, so what if my blue is your green? And he was like, what? And it was hard to even find the words to explain that, to get someone to comprehend that. Cause he's like, I don't know what you're saying. I'm like, no, but but we would never know, because we only have our perception. And some, like, it's so, there's so, I think of all kinds of crazy things.
I have a friend that's colorblind, right? And even colors have certain vibrations. She can't see the color blue, which is one of my favorite colors. I'm like, wait, you can't see blue? Like when you look up at the sky, what do you see? She's like, gray.
Oh,
I'm like, no, there's like nothing. She's like, no, it's like different shades of gray.
Oh my gosh.
So it's interesting to me, because I'm like, I couldn't even imagine going my whole life without seeing the color blue.
I know. That's,
it's kind of mind blowing. And
that
then like even
the ocean.
I know. So what does it look like? Just grayness? Like
it's a gray water? Like, ew.
Yeah. Even my eyes though, like if I open one eye, I see different, it's more like warm tones. And if I open this eye, I have more cool tones. It's been like that since I was a kid.
Really?
So like when I'm looking both, it kind of mixes the two. So something that is like a certain shade to me definitely is not what it is probably to you, because I have different.
Man, that's crazy to think about. Because you're like, oh, that's just purple, and that's just blue.
Yeah.
But it could look totally different to you. Oh, that's interesting.
So the other thing I was going to say too about the not opening the mind, they're not willing to accept that everything vibrates, and that the law of vibration is real. So most people have heard of the law of attraction, right? But the law of vibration is hand in hand with the law of attraction. So we're vibrating, basically us as humans, we're vibrating, sending towers, transmitting our thoughts and feelings out to the universe 24/7.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to talk to people about why vibrations are so important and your thoughts are so important, because they are vibrations and we are sending them out there, right, to everybody.
Yeah.
So the whole thing about, oh, I was going to tell people, I have it pulled up on my TV, but I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
I turned it, if it's going to be backwards or not to everybody. I mean, I guess I could just do it. If it's backwards, it's
You
backwards.
could
And they
just do it.
can,
I think if you do the other camera, it should be normal because on when you use the forward facing camera, things are backwards. So I think the other way it won't be backwards, but we can see. We'll learn.
well, here, I'll just flip it. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Well, I got to flip this backwards. Hopefully I'll be able to flip it back again. Okay, can you see the screen? Let me see.
Oh yeah,
Is
it's
it
the
here?
right way. Yeah, it's the right way.
Ow!
It needs to go down a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Like okay. So it's kind of crooked, but
Oh
so
well.
this is the emotional guidance scale. Okay. This is Abraham Hicks. If you guys want to look it up, this is what we're talking about by vibrations. I can't see you at the moment,
That's
but
okay.
I know you're just there.
I am still here. I'm still here, I promise.
So this is higher vibrations,
Mm-hmm.
and everything over here is the lower vibrations. So at the lowest point of the scale, so it actually is a scale that would go down here and attach. It would be like one long piece, but for the sake of the image, it's two.
Gotcha.
So down here, the lowest point, you have fear, grief, depression, powerlessness, or you're the victim, right? And at the
Mm-hmm.
very tallest point of the highest vibration point of the scale, you have joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, and appreciation. I use this scale with a lot of my clients because if they're experiencing, worry, for example, you don't go from worry to joy like that. Look how far
Right.
off the scale is vibration-wise.
Yeah.
The point is, you just go to the next ring. What can I do to get to doubt? Where can I get to go from worry to doubt? And then how can I get from doubt to disappointment? And you just keep taking it one little chunk at a time, right? Till you get to wherever on the scale you're wanting to go.
Yeah.
So that is the emotional guidance scale by Abraham Hicks. And then this one is the
Hawkins
Hawkins
scale.
Dr. Hawkins. So it's very similar. So contracted, obviously that's lower vibration. Expanded, you want to get to ultimate consciousness. So on his scale, what's the difference is he puts the vibrational, what would you call it? Like the vibrational, oh my gosh, my mind just went blank.
Like
the
the
point, basically. On a
Yeah.
scale from 0 to 1,000, right?
uh-huh.
Well, in his case, it's 700. But so down at the bottom, you have suffering, getting by, and then as you go up, you get to flow, and then you get to all the other stuff. So, like on here, guilt, which is, I don't remember where I saw it over here. Oh, down here, almost towards the bottom. So guilt over here is 30. So
Okay.
down in fear, down on this end of the scale, and from here up is living in love, because there's only fear or there's love. That's really all there is. If you're living in fear, you're not living in love, and if you're living in love, you're not living in fear.
Mm-hmm.
So the highest point, so like love is 500 here, then joy is 540, peace is 600, enlightenment is 700. So this kind of gives you an example to look for as far as like an actual visual to what we're talking about. So that's Dr. David Hawkins' scale.
That's
Or
cool.
the map of consciousness.
Yeah.
Some people see it in a chart form instead of like this way, but I like this look better.
Yeah.
And the other one
I
is
like it.
Emotional Guidance Scale by Abraham Hicks. Okay, I'm gonna try to turn this around.
Okay.
I'll probably have to like make it down so you can see me again because I'm not that tall, obviously.
I was like, there's a shelf.
And then there's the shelf. Okay.
There we go. Okay, cool. No, I like that. I like all the colors too. Like it just because that goes with it's like with the chakra things too. You're just
that's what I was saying. Like we talked about,
chakras. Yeah.
Chakra vibration. Colors are vibration.
Yeah.
So
That's so cool. And to think like even like thought, like you think a thought, you're like, that's not a tangible thing. It's just a thought. Like it's just something we do, but that has energy to it. Like that itself is energy. Like we are energy and we're just putting out more energy. It's just like these things, when I think about them, they're so mind blowing because these aren't things you normally think or talk about because like we're just people and we have thoughts and shit happens and like we deal with it and like, but there's so much more to it. And so just the thought that a thought is energy, which that thought in itself is a type of energy and a vibration. It's so magnificent. Like just the way the world has opened up since becoming more open-minded about this stuff is just incredible. The conversations I have, the things I learn, it just, you just go further down the rabbit hole. I call it the rabbit hole. And it's just amazing to start finding the actual truth of things, even though we'll never know the actual truth, because you just have to keep going deeper and deeper to find the actual truth. Hey, Krista. Yeah, she says we are energy in a neat suit, but it's complex. LOL, yes. Oh, in a meat suit. A neat suit is better than meat suit. Meat suit always freaks me out. I'm like, it's a meat suit, but I'm not meat. I'm like a person. Oh.
We started. And a little bit of meat.
We might one day. That's true. Find the truth. Yes. So I know one thing. So there's the balance of the universe, you know, the yin and the yang, the perfectly balanced light and dark. So I try to figure out how does, you know, looking back at your pictures, your scale. So you have the lower vibrations and the higher vibrations. So for that to be completely balanced, how does that look? Because if you have to have both present, how can you be like, you know, up at the pure consciousness level while still being in touch with the really, like, those are the things I have trouble trying to figure out. It's like, how can you be pure consciousness and like the super low vibrations too, to be perfectly balanced?
Yeah. I think it just really comes down to like not having attachment, obviously, one. And like I said, it doesn't mean you're never going to have those thoughts, but you're not engaging in them. Like, it's like in meditation when we talk about, yes, you're going to have thoughts that come up, but it's not to entertain the thought. It's to recognize it, okay, and then let it go.
Okay. Just like in the moment, in the now. Like, okay, here's this feeling or thought. Like, okay, it's processed and we move on.
Yeah, because if you're living in the past, most of the time you're living in fear, right? If you're living in the future, you're anxious. The only thing there is to do is be present. That's the only time that actually exists is right now, right?
Yeah.
And that's a whole other episode just about time and how all that works.
Oh, man. Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah. So, but right now we know this is the now. This is what we're focusing on. This conversation right now, these things that we're talking about, this is the present now.
Yeah. And so many people don't live in the now. You're worried about the past, or you're stressed about the future. Yes. Like being present is so hard. Like it's so hard.
It's just practice.
It is.
There's actually really good books. Since we were talking about book recommendations last time, this would be a good one for people to check out. Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now. It's a really good.
I'm reading that one. Yeah, I'm reading that one.
That's one of my favorites. When you talked about the top 10 list, that was one of them.
Yeah.
So it made the list because it's a really good book, and it does really talk about the power of now and just slowing down and being present in the now moments. Because people, like you talk about, it's so hard for some people to be in the now. They'll live their whole life, you know, and they're like 95 years old on their deathbed, and they're like, oh my God, I have all these regrets because they didn't do it in the present moment, in the now. They were so worried about what's happening in the future or what happened in the past. They weren't present, like with their kids or their spouse or whatever, you know. And that's why a lot of people have regrets in relationships, anything like that. Like, well, I should have done this, I should have done this, but they weren't being present in the now. Even if that happens, they're living in the past. They're living in fear of things maybe they didn't do or didn't say.
Yes. And I know I've struggled with that before. You're like, oh, you just have regret. And then you're stuck worrying about that instead of enjoying the now. And you're like, I need to be enjoying the now. But I can't because I feel sad about that crap in the past.
Okay, so you know what we should do? Like, what I like the fiction in my head makes me laugh every time. Okay. We're the Millers is like one of my favorite movies because I love Jennifer Aniston.
And what is it? What is it?
Have you seen it?
What is it called?
We're the Millers.
We're the Millers.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't seen it. I guess I need to go watch it.
You have to borrow it because I have it.
Okay.
So in We're the Millers, there's this part where they're at this like carnival or whatever, and this girl like finds this guy that she thinks is hot, and he's got like a do-rag. He looks like a white wannabe rapper, right? Do-rag.
Okay,
he's like Kid Rock. He's like a hip hop Kid Rock is what he looks like.
Okay.
And he's got this tattoo on his chest.
Yeah.
And the guy in the movie is like talking to him, like trying to get to know him because he's like, this guy is a punk, like he's no good or whatever.
Yeah.
And his tattoo says no regrets.
No regrets.
It had an A instead of an E.
Yeah.
Not on purpose. It was just like basically like I think it was implying like a white trash, crappy tattoo, whatever.
Right.
Whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so it was funny because he was like asking me, he's like, no regrets, huh? Not even one letter. And anyway, so I think of that scene if I'm
Hmm.
start like regretting something, I'm like, no regrets, and it just makes
Yeah.
me laugh.
No regrets.
You can probably look up a meme. I'm sure you would know what I'm talking about if you look it
I
up.
bet I could like try to find a GIF or however you say it and probably pop up
Yeah.
there or something. Oh, that's fine. I need to go
Yeah,
watch that. It just sounds. I like funny movies.
I
Um,
love comedies.
or speaking of, I shouldn't say I hate. That's a very strong word.
I
Um,
dislike.
I dislike. See, I caught myself before you did.
Yeah.
I don't like the based on real life movies. Like when they're just because they're so usually sad, and I don't like it. I like uplifting things.
It's because you're an empath.
I
That's
like
why.
superhero movies. I like fantasy. Like I don't like the real. I'm like we're already living in real life. Like I want
Yeah.
something fun and funny and exciting and adventure. And so I wonder if different movies in general put off different vibrations. Like how
Yes.
that like I wonder if that's
100%.
a reason. Like if I'm just like, ooh, I don't like those vibrations. Maybe that's why I don't
Yeah.
like those types of movies.
Yeah. Or it could be, so that for you could be accurate. And then I think movies like that, though, are for some people who can't be present in their own life, if they
Hmm.
can watch a movie about something real that's happening and connect with it more.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense.
This is all really just a movie, guys. This is The Truman Show, and you're all on it.
That's a good movie, The Truman Show.
Yeah. I love Jim Carrey. He's absolutely one of my favorites. He has
Oh,
been since I was a kid. And
he's
Robin
so
Williams. So, I
yes,
love them.
he's so deep, and like people are like he's crazy, and I'm like I
He's
understand
crazy.
every single word he says. Like I
Yeah.
speak
He's just
that
woke. That's all.
language. Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's such a contrast, right, from what he was, like especially in the 90s and stuff like that. Like
Dumb and
he was
Dumber and
funny.
like Ace
Yeah, so everybody, so a
Ventura.
lot of people take him seriously, right? Because
Yeah,
he was known as the funny guy,
yeah.
which I think is interesting.
It is interesting how people change. And then when you change, like, because people have this version of you. Oh, I read something. You are a different version. Like, there's no one version of you. Like I see myself as one version, and my husband sees me as a different version. You see
Yes.
me as a different version. Everyone watching this video, everyone of my friends, my kids, they all see me as a different version. So everything's just, I don't know. It's just weird to think
Perception.
about.
There's,
It's perception.
I know what book the thing you're referring to. There's actually a book, and I have it.
Oh,
Let me grab it real quick.
I need to read that. Tell me
It's a
what it
hard
is.
read. Hold on.
I love the deep thought stuff. And now I'm just here by myself talking to myself, but that's okay. I'm used to that. That's what it looks like in my head, and probably your head all the time. She's laughing at me. I'm like, I can't awkwardly
I
just
can
sit
hear
here
you.
and not say anything.
Okay, so this is the book. Well, it's gonna be backwards, I guess, to you
Okay.
guys. But it's called One Nun in 100,000, and it's a novel by
Hmm.
Lugio. However, I don't know how
Lu-
to say. I'm not even gonna try to say his last
Is it
name.
Luigi? Okay. Is it Luigi?
Luigi.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's the G.
Yeah.
Luigi Cardinello. I don't know how you say it, but
Yeah.
this book that you're talking about, it's literally what you were talking about. It's an older read, so it's kind of
Hmm.
one of those you got to read maybe a couple of times to digest what they're talking about.
Yeah. It's like that's
But that's
so much
exactly what he's
info.
talking about. How, oops, I got blurry.
Oh.
He's talking about how every person, there are so many different variable people or perceptions of you in other people's
Hmm.
heads.
Yeah.
And when and that's why people get disappointed, right? If something happens because they had
Yeah.
this perception of you and now you've proved them wrong. So I think it's interesting.
Yeah. That is interesting.
Well, that's
Yeah.
like,
It's
with a
so.
lot of people that I work on the emotional healing sessions and we're going and rewiring the brain.
Yeah.
A lot of times if they have trauma or, maybe like they have a certain thing with their mom or whatever, something that I explain to them is they have a hard time forgiving. Like there's this one technique I do called integration, where you're picturing that person across from you, you hug and you integrate. And the
Hmm.
reason we do that is because that's not the actual person that you're seeing. That's actually a version or a part of yourself that you're getting back.
Hmm.
But in our head, we've projected it out and it's like, oh, it's this person. But obviously, no big person can fit in our head between
Right.
our ears. That's just our perception of them. But really, it's
Right.
still a part of us. So the whole part of integrating is taking that power back from that piece and reintegrating it into ourselves.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
And that's also why you shouldn't care what other people think of you, because they just have some random version of you that like you don't even like you just can't impress everybody. So really the only thing that matters is like, are you happy? Like, are you progressing in the way you want to progress? Are you living your best life in whatever way that is? Because it's impossible to make anyone happy, because the version of you that they see isn't even really real. It's not even the real you. Yeah.
It's like all these different parts of you, or some of them they might not even know. It's just stuff they've made up because our
Or
brain
they've
is
heard
powerful.
from other people who
And
like,
they
oh, I
start
heard this
constructing
rumor,
their
and like,
view.
oh, well, she's this
Yep.
type of person. And I'm like, I never even said that. So that's not
Yep.
even real. Like,
Yeah.
oh, man, this is
It's
good. I love conversation like this. Don't you just get stimulated by like when you can
Yeah.
talk to people about just stuff like this?
Yeah, that's why that's the whole reason why when we started talking about this, I was so
Right.
excited because I know there's other people. Lucky
Oh,
is
yeah.
on right now. She's one
I
of those
know.
people.
Hi. That's so cool because
should get your brain going.
yeah,
I like
felt
that's the conversations I live for, not the
yes.
BS like, oh yeah, like who's playing football tonight?
Look
Or,
at the weather.
what's the weather like?
Yay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would do that for so long. And not that it's a bad thing to do, because sometimes you got to talk to people and it's fine. And you don't really like connect with your energies and whatnot. But I found the older I get and the more into this stuff I get, the more I crave this kind of conversation where it's just stimulating and it gets you thinking, and like the other person gets you and they're not like, she's a little bit crazy. Like,
Well, that's
what
what we
is she
talked about
on?
vibrations, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of things I explain to my clients is like when we're talking about this kind of stuff. Okay, we talk about the vibrational scale, right? High vibration, low vibration. If you're vibrating higher, right, and you're trying to have a conversation with somebody who's at a lower vibration than you, they're literally not going to be able to comprehend what you're saying because their vibration is not a match.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either you come down to their vibration to have it, or they just come up to you.
Yeah. I learned
And
that from you. I learned
that.
that from you because I was like, I don't get why people they don't hear me. They're not, and she's like, well, they can't. They're just not on the
like
same wavelength. And I was
they
like,
can't absorb it. Yeah.
it's like that makes so much sense.
But the more that you live in your truth and your higher vibration, the more you'll attract like vibrations, which is what I want to talk about, the law of attraction.
Yes.
Because that is a vibration.
Yes. And it's important. And it's real.
Yes, it 100% is.
It's not like hippy dippy voodoo BS, what people call it, woo woo stuff too. You're like, I mean, you can believe that, but that's not the actual truth. Yeah. Yeah. So law of attraction. Let's talk about that.
So for those of you watching, if you're just now hearing about law of attraction, one of the things I always start people with is The Secret. So it's on Netflix, or there's a book that you can get of it, but it's called The Secret, and it's really good.
Oh, yeah. I have it right here. I actually have a book here.
There you go. Let's see it. See, it's a little tiny book. It's so good, and it's talking about how your thoughts have to match, the vibration of that which you are attracting. So that's another thing I talk with people about. They do a vision board, and they put these things on this vision board, and they're like, I'm going to get all of these things. And that's all they do. They create it, and they're just like, yeah, I'm going to get those things. Okay, but what are you doing to get those things? And in The Secret, they tell you things like, okay, well, you have to believe it as if you already have it, because therefore you're going to attract it. That's kind of what we're talking about. When you're vibrating higher, you're attracting more of those people. Same thing with the things you're trying to get as far as the law of attraction. If you are believing and closing your eyes, I think in the Secret they use a car, right? This guy wants a car.
Yeah.
So he goes and test drives it, and he has a picture of it and all this stuff. He even goes and sits in his living room in his recliner, closes his eyes, and pretends that he's driving his car, like all the way that feels and stuff like that. And before he knows it, he's got the car. It's that whole thing. You have to believe it and act as if you already have it, therefore to attract it. Because like a vibration attracts like vibration.
Yes.
So if you're making a vision board and you're not getting those things, it should be a sign for you that maybe your vibration's not where it needs to be to attract those things. So what can you do to switch it? Which is why sometimes affirmations work for some people. I know they're not for everybody, but that's why they work, is when you start saying them enough and believing things enough and using them enough, it does become a belief in you. Therefore, you're going to start vibrating to that belief. Therefore, you're going to start attracting that thing that you're mantra or your affirmation is saying. That's how
Mm-hmm.
it works. So I think that's really cool.
It definitely
Um,
is. I know when I'm like on track with something, like I've started where I can like feel it in my body. It's almost like a vibration. Like you just
yeah.
feel like tingles when you know when something just like sets you on fire so much. You have this passion. I feel it. And I have a good example really recently. Um, quickest thing I've ever manifested, and everything just worked out perfectly, was buying our school bus. So for those of you
That
that
was
don't
so
know,
awesome.
um,
You need to share that
I
story,
know,
some like
yeah,
pictures and stuff of that on here
yeah.
sometime.
Well, I'm gonna like document everything. Right now,
Yeah.
it's in the lot, but I'll share the story real quick. So, going through all this stuff, I work from home and homeschool my kids. I like freedom. I really crave freedom, and so we one weekend just started like we were watching something about buying islands and like was it Belize for like 2 million? I'm like, that's not bad for an
Mhm.
island. Anyway, somehow it it came down there, and I was like, oh, you know what, bus, like bus life. I've seen those things on Instagram and like there's documentaries on Netflix. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we could buy a school bus and we could travel and turn it into a tiny home and it'd be great for the kids. And I just got so like I was so like excited about it. Like I could feel it and I was like visualizing it and just imagining what it was. And anyway, long story short, um, we just had our tax refund that came in. Um, and it was like going to be in that Thursday. We were just like Googling school buses, like, oh, how much does it cost? Just to like start figuring it out and blah, blah, blah. And I was in the bathroom putting my makeup on and Jeremy's like, oh my gosh, Morgan, like you got to come look at this bus. And I was like, I'm putting my mascara on. Wait. He's like, no, you need to come see it now. And so I go in there and it's this bus and it's beautiful. It's already been gutted of the chairs. Because I was like, well, we couldn't get a bus because we don't have land and we'd have to have a space to take out all the chairs and work on it and be loud. And like we didn't have space for it. But I was like, I really want a bus. So we found this bus on it was Facebook Marketplace and it was already gutted. It was already painted on the outside. The people, amazing people, they documented buying the bus and fixing it up. So it had documentation and pictures of the love that was put into it. And I was like, oh my, and it was 3 hours away in Arkansas. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is our bus. And I was like, message them about it. And so we did, and it was still available, and they were willing to like wait for us to go that weekend. And they would take cash, which we just happened to have the cash come in like 2 days before.
Was it the
And
same? Was it around the same amount of cash?
yeah, it was within $300.
Wow.
Yeah, we had like $300 extra.
Which you had
And
to pay for gas, to go out there and
right,
back.
exactly. And so I was like, okay, well, we gotta, we'll plan to go see it on Sunday, but we got to figure. I was like, insurance. I don't know insurance. I don't know how that works. And I was
Yeah.
like, so where are we gonna park it? Like, I don't know. So I was like, okay, well, it's working out okay. There's a storage place right around the corner from us. Literally, we could walk there. They had one space left that would fit a 30-foot school bus. The
Oh,
slot number was 24, which is my angel number. I see that number all the damn time. Like every time I look at the clock, it's like 9:24, 12:24, 10, like it's always 24.
interesting.
Um, so slot number 24, our insurance ended up only being an extra $4 a month for liability,
Wow.
and which was like $51 a year. And I was like, oh my God, it's just working so
Done.
perfectly.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is all working out like so perfectly. It's crazy. And so we drive up there, we get it. We end up talking to the people for a few hours. They just had the bus inspected. Jeremy does a test drive. I'm like, do you test drive a school bus? How weird is that? But he did. He was driving it down the road. And I'm like waving at him. And it drove home like perfectly fine. There were no issues. I mean, obviously it's a 97. It's going to need love and work. And we know that, but it worked out so perfectly within a week. Like we went from like, we should get a school bus to like, oh my God, we have a school bus. And like
That is
everything
fast.
was perfectly like it, it was the quickest I've ever manifested anything. And it just Like it just makes me so happy. And I just felt it in my bones and in my soul and all over my body. I was like, this is our bus and this is what we're going to do. This is our next step to being more free to travel the country with the kids. And
And it's
I
a
was
cool
like, we
bus.
manifested that. It is a cool bus. And I'm so
It's really
excited
cool.
to work on it. And we're going to take it out camping this, even though it's not done, we can
Nice.
put a wall air conditioner in there or a window air conditioner and some sleeping bags. And like they have bathrooms at a campground. I'm like, we're going to take that bus out and just like sleep on the floor in sleeping bags and just start camping in our bus before it's done. And clearly it makes me really happy, but it's the fastest I've ever manifested anything. And I felt it in every part of who I am. It was really an interesting, incredible experience. And I was like, that is manifestation. That's what that is right there.
You were in alignment. Like so you were not just in alignment, but you were at a vibrational match for that which you were trying to attract.
Because it all worked out perfectly. All these things, I was like, I don't know how it's going to work.
Divine
Like,
synchronicities,
the
right?
universe is like, there you go. Only $4 extra for insurance. There's your slot right around the corner, 24. It's right. Like it was nothing was difficult about it. Nothing.
That's awesome.
It was weirdly amazing. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you. When you told me about it, I was like, yes, that's so cool.
Like, Morgan bought a school bus.
So awesome.
Like, I don't know.
You were just talking to me about it too.
Yeah. Who buys a school bus? I do. Because I want to. Because it just works. I don't know how. It just did. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, thank you, Beth. I'm happy too. It's gonna be. I'm gonna learn a lot through it because I like to build things, but it's gonna be. A whole thing. But I'm excited for it, and it'll be good memories for our kids, and maybe a retirement plan for me and Jeremy. Maybe we'll be like, we'll just retire in our bus and go travel around, and I don't know. We'll just live life and have fun. Oh, so yeah, that makes me happy. I love my bus.
So have any of you guys that are watching right now, do you guys practice the law of attraction at all? I'm just curious. Or have you watched The Secret or read The Secret?
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, because it is on Netflix. And I think the movie's like an hour and a half or something. And the book's a pretty quick read too. So yeah, I'd love to know if anyone's watched it or read or even know what it is, or if you're curious about it.
And if you're watching the replay, comment too. So basically just asking if you've seen The Secret or if you've read about The Secret, just to comment on here. Let us know what your thoughts are. If you work on manifesting anything in law of attraction, like what do you do for that? Do you do a vision board? Do you do affirmations? What works for you? What do you like to do?
Let's see. Now Jennifer says she loves The Secret. She's read and watched. It's kind of one that you can watch multiple times. Jennifer, have you watched it more than once or read it more than once? Because it's just one of those things like you just like, oh, I just need to read The Secret right now. Or you can open up to any page and like, you're like, oh, I manifested that perfect page I needed to hear. Yeah.
I've watched a bunch. Beth says, I've heard of The Secret, but I haven't read it. So Beth, you can either get the book, which Morgan has the book there. She showed. It's a little tiny book.
Yep.
Quick read.
It's about size of my hand.
Yeah. It's on Amazon, or you can watch the movie version of it on Netflix.
Yeah.
So it's really good. Like you said, you can watch it multiple times. I don't know how many times I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Yeah. That's a good one. You can, if you like background sounds, like you don't like silence, that's a good one just to have like, maybe you're journaling, you just have it in the background, or maybe you're putting your makeup on, just like have it in the background and you can listen to it. Kind of like an audiobook.
Yeah, because your subconscious mind is always picking up on that stuff. Yeah. And it'd be interesting to know what it's picking up on when you're really not paying attention to it, but it's like in the background, like what it's actually doing, I think is interesting.
I know. The subconscious is really awesome. It's always recording. Always.
100% of the time.
Yeah.
Jennifer said affirmations and meditation, and then more resonates every time.
Yeah.
So that was her way of like the law of attraction, what the thing she uses for that.
Yeah.
So like I said, affirmations are really good. And it's to the point of saying it over and over to the point where it does become an ingrained belief in you, because then you are going to be a vibrational match for that, and that's how you're going to attract those things.
Yep.
Because I know some people just, sometimes affirmations just aren't for them, and that's okay. There's other ways to do it, but
Oh, yeah.
they do work for people.
Yeah. Do you have any affirmations that you say daily?
I say lots of different ones.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just do a lot of meditating more so
Yeah.
than I do the affirmations. As far as like the affirmations, I have a couple, but I do more of a lot of rewiring on myself throughout the day instead.
Yeah.
So like how you talked about earlier, like if I have a thought, like stopping it and then turning it into the thought I want to have instead. So I do those, and those become, I guess, affirmations by doing that.
Yeah. I probably do that more so with my inner chatter, my chatter monkey. But there's one thing, I don't know if it's maybe more like a prayer than affirmation, but I guess it could also be an affirmation.
I think they're the same thing, really.
It's like infinite help comes in infinite ways. Just like infinite help comes in infinite ways. So if like something's like really hard, or I see someone, on Facebook, people ask you to pray for them, or if they're going through a hard time, I always like infinite help comes in infinite ways. Infinite help comes in infinite ways. And that's just like, I read that in a book. I wonder if it's this Essence book, but I read it in a book and it just stuck in my mind. And I was like, that's really probably the greatest prayer or affirmation I've ever heard. Infinite help comes in infinite ways. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite one. Yeah.
I think if I had to choose like what ones I say a lot, the universe always provides for me. I know that I'm always taken care of. And the other thing that I did, even that I still continue to do to this day, when I was really sick and stuff, I would say things like, basically it's like a prayer of my food, right? Like, this food helps nourish my body, helps build it strong and healthy, and it helps it run at optimal. Oh my God, my mind is
energy is just optimal.
Yeah, like even above like 100%. Like I'm working at 110%. Like my body is constantly regenerating. That sort. Like this constant function at its highest optimal. Oh my God, I keep losing that word. It gets right there, and
I know. I hate when you're like, it's right there.
I hate that. And as soon as I stop thinking, it's gonna come.
I know. Yeah.
Anyway, so those ones I do. It's just like mostly over food, and then just if I feel fear or anxiety come in, I just say the other, that the universe always provides. I'm always taken care of.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's see. Jennifer says every cell is full of light and replenished perfectly. Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
I like that one. And I do remember like we need light. Like we need light.
That's one I use a lot too, is I am the light. I say that a lot.
Yeah. I think our cells store light, isn't it? Isn't that a thing? Like they store light? I don't know. I read so many things. I'm like, I don't know where I heard that, but it makes sense. But it was maybe it was this Essence book. I don't know. But it was like we store light, like we are the light. So I need to figure out where I read that, because it fascinated me. And I'm like, maybe that's why like so many people they get depressed or really sad when there's just winter comes around. I know I do. I get seasonal depression, and I'm like, I just need the sunlight. I just want to sit out in the light and the warmth. And I even contemplated getting one of those indoor lamps you get for people. I don't know if it's a UV lamp but it's like a little heat lamp for a person, I guess. Like lizards have their lamps.
They're happy lamps.
Yeah, a happy lamp. There you go. Because I hate the darkness. I hate it so much. Like I need the light, and I'm like, maybe my cells are craving light. Just the very,
I think maybe we're a lot like plants in that aspect. You know how plants like photosynthesis and all that stuff, how they absorb light. Like I'm sure we do to some degree.
We'd have to. It just makes sense. I don't know. Just those things you're like, that makes sense. I can't explain it. It just, I know that's right. I don't care what you think.
It's a knowing.
Right. Yeah, just a knowing. Jordan says, Light is the New Black. I got that book. Did you love it? I saw your post. Yes, I did read that. That's a great book. I want to read that again. Yes.
That's one of those ones I could read over and over too.
Oh yeah.
Because I like how they have like the exercises at the end of each chapter that you can go back and you don't have to read it like maybe the first time, read it all the way through, but then like it's kind of like you said, The Secret. You can like flip to any page or whatever and do that exercise. Like I like that
Yes.
one. Oh, E squared is a good one too. So E
Okay. Oh, E squared. Okay.
um, by Pam Grout.
Yeah.
That talks about like vibrational matches. She talks about the RAS, the reticulating activating system, like
Yeah.
where your focus goes, your energy flows, and how you attract certain things. So, and that also has like little exercises you can do, just like simple, easy ones, like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna see a yellow car today, and then so you start saying, I'm gonna see a yellow car, and then it's funny how many yellow cars you end up seeing that day.
Yeah.
Or like when you buy a car, right? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I haven't seen any other cars. Like, oh, I feel so cool. I got my new car, and you're driving down the road. You see
Yeah.
like 20 more of that same car.
I know. You're like, no, everyone has my car. I want it to be different. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's weird. It brings your attention to it. And you're like, did I not notice them before, or am I attracting more of them to me?
You've opened up your reticulating activating system to notice that. You're telling your mind that's the thing you want to notice. So that's what we talk about perception and things like that. Like what you focus on, that's what you're gonna see.
Yeah.
So if you're
Yeah.
always, focused on the negative, well, of course you're only gonna see the negative. That's what you're looking for. Your mind is looking for resources to confirm, oh yeah, remember the world's shit. Here's what's happening.
I know. Oh God, that's hard. That's why I don't watch the news. I don't follow the news because it's nothing but just sad, like garbage. I'm like, I don't want
ratings on
that.
sharing good things.
Do what?
Nobody's gonna tune in if they're only talking about good things. People like drama. Like,
but how do we know they haven't even tried? Like, we need to start like a good like here's happy news in the world.
this is happy news. This is what
That's
we're doing.
true. There we go. Yes, it's a vlogcast, and it's our version of happy news because we need more of that. And yeah, like let's just can't we try to be happy? Like, can't we just try? Oh, we need happiness.
Certain things feed off of negative energy, so that's why they need it.
Oh, I know. We get into there's oh gosh.
That's another episode, right?
That is a different episode for sure. That is
I'm trying to see what Jordan said. I can't scroll back up.
Let's see. Okay. She says, she just said she's excited. The book, Light is the New Black. She says she's excited to read it. She needs to designate time to read every night. Twin life is busy. She just had new twins, so she's a new mom with twins, and oh yeah, mom life's hard. But I've never done twin life, and man,
I can't imagine.
Hats off to you. It's
like,
just
go you.
Yeah. It's hard
You're
to be mom, but like two babies at the same time, man, like you deserve a medal and an award and a foot rub every night and bubble baths and champagne and pretty much whatever you want. Like you deserve all of that because it's hard. It's hard to be a mom. But yes, you should read that every night, even if it's just a page or
and you could get it even on Audible too. Yeah. Like maybe when you're driving or doing something where you can't, stop what you're doing. There's other forms. That's why I like Audible books because I do both. Like I have some books that have an Audible and the actual book because maybe I want to get something auditorial that I wasn't getting from visualizing it when I'm reading it because I'm an auditorial person. So sometimes I'll pick up stuff that I'm like, holy crap, I didn't even catch that. And I was reading the book. Like
I like to write, like highlight my books and like make notes in them. But then I do also like if I'm doing the dishes, I hate the dishes. That's one of those things I'm like, I wish I could manifest dishes being done. So I'm trying to actively think. I'm like, how can I make cleaning the kitchen and doing the dishes more enjoyable? Because I really just dislike it so much. And if I listen to like audiobook or something, it helps make it more enjoyable because then I can be more focused on, I'm just doing the thing, the dumb dishes, but I'm listening with my conscious and my subconscious. I'm like, okay, this is more enjoyable. It makes it go faster.
Yes. Well, so I was about to ask, like, what if you change it instead of I hate doing the dishes, like, oh, I love doing the dishes. And I know it feels stupid at first when you're saying, like, oh, I love the dishes. Like, your subconscious is like, no, you don't. You freaking hate doing the dishes. What are you talking about? You just keep saying it over and over, right? Yeah. And then, the next suggestion I was going to have is play some music, like dance while you're cleaning. Just, like, make it fun. Like, whatever.
I can't dance. Then I'd be too anxious. I'm like, I look like such a nerd.
That's another negative one.
I know it is. But what was, I remember.
You're able-bodied. You can dance.
That's exactly, well, not that I can dance. I could. But I was focusing on, I'm grateful that my body is in good enough health that I can clean the kitchen and I can do the dishes for my family, because there are some people that cannot do that and they would probably give everything to be able to do the stupid dishes. And here I am like whining about the stupid dishes. So I
So what
really
you're
was
doing,
working on that. Yeah.
but what you're doing by doing that, you are expressing gratitude, and gratitude is one of the highest vibrations. So you are changing your vibration by saying, I'm grateful that I get to do this.
Yes. Yes.
But that's
Oh,
the
so,
quickest. If you're stuck in the funk, like I would say that to anybody watching this live or the replay. If you get stuck in a funk and you just feel really low or whatever, just start saying things you're grateful for out loud. Just start
yes.
naming them. I don't care how random it is. Like, I love the carpet under my feet right now because it's so squishy and soft.
Yeah.
I love the space that I'm in because
Yeah.
it provides me shelter and security. I love the air that I breathe because I'm able-bodied to breathe in my lungs on my own. Like, just start naming things. Like, and you'll switch that, and then you'll start vibrating higher because you're focusing on gratitude, which is of high vibration.
Yes.
That's why I have a happy journal. I'll actually show you.
Ooh.
So I tell my clients to do these too because they're really good. So this is my happy journal.
Okay.
Backwards. So basically in this book, so you
Is that
write this.
stickers in there? Was that stickers?
No, actually it's a card. Because
Oh,
you
okay.
in your happy journal, yeah, I like this card. Look at it.
I was
It's
like,
dog
that's so cute. Oh my God, that's adorable.
So in the happy journal, you put only good things. So maybe good memories, your favorite song lyrics, your favorite quotes, stickers, cards, pictures, drawings, whatever it is, and you keep it all in here so that when you're having a bad day, you can go pick up your happy journal
Oh,
and only focus on the good things. So maybe
that's
you're having a hard
good.
time thinking of grateful things. You're just like, pick it up and look at all the stuff you're already grateful for. And you're like, oh yeah, I knew that. Like, this is how I really feel.
That's a good
Brings you
idea.
back.
That makes it easy to
It's not
focus on
terrible.
that too, on the
Yeah.
positive. Because when you're
And
in a
then
funk, you're like, everything sucks. I don't remember anything I'm grateful for. But if you
yes,
have like a
that's
book,
the
you're like,
point.
oh
Yes.
yeah, like here's all these things that I'm grateful for.
Yeah, that's the point of it, is because when we get stuck in that muck, that's why I said it's important to focus on gratitude to pull you out, because when you're stuck in it, your brain's going to continue to give you resources to feel that way. Because
Yep.
that's what it thinks you want to feel, right? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I feel like shit. Okay, your brain's gonna be like, oh, remember in like third grade when you were playing with everybody and the kid next to you barked on you or whatever it is. I don't know.
Here's this memory from 20 years ago.
That's exactly how it does. And it's like, oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you need another one? Remember that
Here's
time
some
you
more
really
things.
shitty?
Remember that time when you like farted in front of your friends and it was really embarrassing? You're like,
Boom, there
why
you
are all
go.
these things? Like, this is awful.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
what your brain does. It provides
Thanks,
resources.
brain. Thanks, brain. You need some exercise. Let's see.
I'm going back.
Jordan says she needs some Reiki. I'm sure.
I'm
I'm all sorts of jacked up. LOL. Reiki's amazing. I love it. You got to keep those chakras aligned.
You're not jacked up. You're just probably got some blockages or stress, I'm sure. With
See,
two
there you
twin
go.
babies,
I'm like, yeah, you're
not
jacked up because I'm a mom, but yeah, it's just that's why you're you, Ashton. You've got the mindset training.
What else she said? It's amazing. I'm gonna carry you around in my pocket to give me those compliments all day.
Okay.
Go
Good.
for it.
I
Say
know.
it.
Yeah.
Put it in your happy journal. Create a happy journal tonight and put all these good things we just said about you in the book. I actually do put. Let's see. I probably have one I could pull off real quick. Affirmations. So I got memories. Let me find one. I know I have one in here where I put like. Oh, here's some. So these are things that other people have said to me that like made me feel good, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, those are going in my happy journal because I want to remember those moments because it's so easy when something bad happens or whatever, like we forget all the good things that other people are saying about us, not even about ourselves, but like strangers, right?
Yeah.
So this person said to me, you're such a strong woman. I had never in my life did that before.
Oh.
And that made me feel really good. And I was like, thank you.
Oh. That definitely belongs in there.
Yeah. And she also said, so we were talking, just to give you a little bit of context, we were talking about my hair, why it's short. Growing up, I wasn't allowed to cut my hair. You know, my mom always had made me like long hair down my butt. I was talking about 2 years ago, I cut my hair, right? And I'm 29.
Yeah.
So it took me not long to get up the courage to cut my hair. And I love it. Like, this is me. This feels so good and so aligned. And so I was talking to her about it and sharing my story, like why I did that, which I'll continue to share that with people because I think it's important. But she said, short hair looks great on you. You have the perfect head shape for short hair.
You do though. Like it looks awesome.
Oh, I have a good what are they bob? Is that no, it's not what it's called.
Pixie?
Is it bob?
Pixie.
Pixie. That's
Yeah.
what it's called. Yes.
Pixie, because
Yes.
it's like a fairy almost. Bob is like
Yeah.
around your
I'm a
chin.
little fairy.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
What else did she say? She also said, this might have been a couple of different people, because this one's, thank you so much for sharing your story. It is so inspiring. That makes me happy. I can't tell you how many people I've had tell me that in the past couple of years
Yeah.
since I started sharing. And that makes me feel good because it took a lot of courage to start sharing my story with people, because there is a lot of vulnerability that comes with that. Like, well, if I share this, what are people going to think? And like what you said earlier, like, screw what people think. And that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I know if I share my story, it could help somebody else.
Exactly.
And I'm here to help people heal. That's the whole point.
Yes. 100%.
And then, the last one I wrote in here, you're a natural healer. I have people tell me that all the time. Like, I have strangers come up to me and say that. Like, my energy just draws them in and they'll tell me their life story. So those are, like, that's an example. So Jordan, if you want to start a happy journal, write down the things we said about you tonight. You're a badass. You're super strong.
You're an awesome mom. You deserve foot massages every day.
Yeah.
Champagne, like,
and
whenever.
You know what else, though, Morgan? She's still working on herself even while doing that. The fact that she's reading those books and doing those things, that says a lot.
That is a lot.
Because you know, Jordan, how many people could cop out and say, well, I've got 2 newborn babies at home and I still have time.
Yeah. But you're doing
and that's
it.
Just an excuse.
Yeah.
And here she is and she's doing it. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
and even if you haven't read the book, you bought the book. You bought the book, and you're going to find time whenever that is to read the book. And that's so important. And I'm so proud of you, because as a mom, not a twin mom, but as a mom, like, I know how hard it is to just life. And like I said, the dishes and the cleaning, and then you got a husband that wants attention too. And then you want nobody to give you attention. You're like, just don't, but nobody come around me. Just leave me alone. Yeah. Just pretend I'm not here. I'm going to lock myself in the closet and eat some Cheetos or whatever. Just leave me alone. And then, like, all the other things, it's really hard. So yes, you're amazing and you're awesome and you're a good mom. And yeah, you deserve all the things. Yeah.
And to all the moms that are watching this, you're all amazing. Because I think anybody who's a mom is a Wonder Woman. Like, I don't have kids. Like, I've watched my nieces and nephew, you know, for a couple hours. It's way different because
and you're glad to give them back. Be like, I love you, but go home with mommy.
Yeah, sometimes, not all the time, because I love spending time with them. But I could see how that could be a thing. Like, I can tolerate, you know, because I'm not a mom, you know, being around them for so long. But even then, I probably have my limits that maybe I haven't reached them yet. But I know that's the thing.
Oh yeah.
So
our limits
I just
get
want
reached.
to do it, like how you guys remember everything and like take care of yourself in the process. And I know a lot of my clients have that issue too, though. They'll come in and they've lost their identity in their kid, right? So they don't even know who they are anymore. So that's why I'd like to shout out to all the women on here who are watching who are moms and you're not losing your identity, or maybe you did and you're coming back to it, like or maybe you're discovering it for the first time.
That was me. Kind of love being a mom. I think my kids changed my life. I'm a better person because of them. But I did kind of start to lose. I'm like, who is Morgan? What am I supposed to do? And then through different things, like struggles in marriage, I've just felt like shit all the time, like bad mom, bad wife. I hate myself. And then I'm like, this just cannot be. And I rebuilt myself, and here I am, this new person. And I continue to build myself every day. And it's all just a process, and learning and not giving up, and just, you know, powering through.
Adjusting,
learning.
Adjusting yourselves for your new course, wherever it is you want to go, or what you want to do.
And self-care. I don't care if it's a bath. I don't care if it's you read a book. I don't care if it's maybe the only thing you can do is lock yourself in a closet and eat your favorite snack with the kids banging on the door. If that's what you could do, then like do it.
Is that a thing that a lot of you moms do? Like, I've heard that's a thing where they'll hide in the bathroom and lock the door, and somehow the kid still gets in, or like they'll stick their fingers under the door or whatever. Like,
mommy, how did you find me? Or like, what are you chewing? I'm like, it's none of your business. It's something you hate. Like, leave me alone.
It's broccoli.
It's broccoli. No, I've done that. Like, we have a pantry in the kitchen, and like the kids are loud. I just go in there, I close the pantry. They're like, where are you going? I'm like, just leave me alone for a minute. I'm looking for something.
Mommy's booth.
Yes, we do all kinds of crazy things. And it's hilarious. But yes, for sanity reasons, you're like, I just need a minute. Just a minute. I need a mommy timeout, or I'm going to not be happy.
So
And
that's
then
your Zen.
yeah, well, not the pantry. My room,
Oh.
luckily, I've created my Zen. But there are times where I'm like, I'm in the pantry right now because I can't, because they're there like blocking the exit of the kitchen. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm just gonna go in here for a minute.
Back up in here and shut
Yeah,
the door.
yeah. Like, just go play with your iPad, or go play with your Legos, or go feed the dog, just something. Yeah, we do all kinds of crazy things. It's really funny.
But it's still good. Like even like what we were talking about with vibrations, it's so important to take care of yourself.
Yes.
Because if you are a mom or a single parent, you could be a dad, I guess, too, watching this.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the moms, but if you're a parent and you're so invested in your kid, like it's good to be invested in your kid, but not to lose your identity in your kid.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be either or. You can be a loving, invested parent and still have your identity.
Absolutely.
And I think that's important because so many people lose that. And vibration wise, I mean, think about that. If you lose your identity and you don't know who you are, why you're here, like all those things you were talking about earlier, like you're just angry, your marriage sucks, like whatever it is, you're vibrating so low. And then that in turn causes you to snap at your kids or whatever. And it's not that you're meaning to, but you're just vibrating
what happens.
So unhappy.
Yeah.
It just happens. And then the whole programming part happens, right? Because then you snap at your kids and your kids are like, oh, I don't know why my mom snapped at me. Like, I just asked this question. And then you build your programs and then the cycle continues.
I know. Exactly. Yeah. It's, man, it's rough. Yeah. You gotta take care of yourself. It's okay. It's okay to take care of yourself.
Selfish.
It is not selfish. And you got to get over that. Because, just all, like you said, all that weird programming, like, what you think you're supposed to be as a mom, or like someone guilt you, or they say something like, oh, well,
or the book says you're supposed to do,
you know
whatever.
You know what I really, like, one of the things that really gets on my nerves. Look, I love being a mom. I always love being a mom. But when they say, enjoy every moment, that is impossible. I will not enjoy every moment of parenting because not every moment is enjoyable. I will be grateful for all the moments of parenting, but to say like just enjoy every moment makes you guilty when you don't, because you will inevitably not enjoy more than a few moments of your parenting journey. And I think that's one of the most dangerous comments. Yeah.
I think it's just coming back to that though. Like even when you have those not enjoyable moments, you come back to like, okay, like you said, what you do with your kids, like even if you have a moment where you yell at them or whatever, you come back and like, look, I didn't mean to yell at you. Like, I think that's what that means. Like, it's still a teachable moment. I don't think it's ever going to be rainbows and butterflies because that's life. It doesn't exist.
Oh, no, that's total BS, which is why I hate that comment. Just enjoy every moment. Like,
it's like a standard you feel like you have to live up to.
Exactly. An impossible standard. Like, no, I don't enjoy cleaning up poop off the floor. I'm sorry.
I can't. I literally have such a
barfed on. I hate that. Like, no, I don't enjoy that. Yeah, like it is impossible. So stop telling parents, especially moms, just enjoy every moment, because it's impossible. It's an unattainable standard, and it will drive them crazy because they think it's some standard they have to attain, and it's total BS. Yeah, it's not.
So with that, when you talked about self-care and we said how it's not selfish, one of my favorite sayings that I use in quotes, and I even use for myself, so I guess it would be a mantra, is that you can't give from an empty cup. Meaning you have to fill yourself up in order to fill others up. Yeah. So think of a cup if it's almost empty.
Sorry. Have you ever cleaned up poop, Keegan? When have you ever cleaned up poop?
I don't know, but I'm not a fan of it. I literally will dry heave. I'm like, oh, get it away. Oh, that's me. Poop never, no thank you. But the whole point being is if you were a cup, right, and you were not very filled, maybe that much of this much of a cup. Yeah. And then you're giving to people, right? Because we do want to give. Like me as a giver myself, I've had to set a lot of boundaries because I got used a lot growing up and stuff like that, taken advantage of because I have a big heart and I was a giver. So anyway, I would give, right? But I only had so much to give. And I thought that I was doing everybody a favor. Well, I'll just give to my last drop, right? But what people don't realize, it's actually more powerful to be able to fill yourself up and fill your cup up and then give. Yes. It's like if you were to give someone gas, right? Do you want to give them the last little drops of fumes in your car, or do you want to fill up your gas tank and then give them a little bit of that? Exactly. I like that analogy. Yeah, that's a good one too. Let's see. Keegan's, let's see. Don't clean the diapers. Concentrate. Don't laugh. I can't not laugh.
So you have a 3-month-old nephew. Okay, well then you've probably been spit up on a few times then.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Baby spit is the worst.
It's like the worst smell
Parenting's
ever.
really it's just really gross. You love them, but it's so
Well, you've got
gross.
all boys too, right? I heard boys are supposed to be like grosser, more
I
gross.
do have all boys. Yeah, they're all boys. And I love them,
Some of the
but
stuff you post makes me laugh so hard. Just
it's
like the
just,
quotes you say from them, it's the best.
yeah, it's
Like things you
just,
say they're saying to one another or whatever, like that you just overhear, like
I
when you share
know.
those.
I
I
know.
literally laugh out loud every time I read them.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I love it and it's hilarious, but yeah, it's weird and it's exhausting and it's gross and I I I love it, and I learn a lot from it, but yeah, I don't enjoy every moment. And I do like to share just the humor of, of the life that it is to be a
Yep.
parent, especially a boy mom, because yeah, it is quite a thing to behold.
I bet you
Um,
could write a book on all those things that they've said.
I probably could. It'd be
It'd be a
funny.
funny book.
Let's see. Let's see. Spit up on, yelled at, held him, fed him, love him, but don't change the diapers yet. Okay. Everything else. Okay, that's pretty good. Diapers, though, man, you don't get to that like level up master level until you do a poopy diaper change. That is
What about like those blowout diapers though, where they like poop up? Oh, I just can't. I just like, man, throw it away.
my
Just pick it.
last my
Throw it
last
away.
baby. Every time we would take him out, like explosive poop everywhere. I'm like,
Oh
literally,
my
like
God, I
not
can't.
never at home. Just when we're out and there's not a bathroom around, I'm like, what is this? What? Why? Why? I mean, it's funny. The joys of parenting. I love it, and I love to share it because other moms get it. Other dads too. I say moms a lot. I'm not leaving out the
Yeah, I
dads.
was gonna say there's single dads out there and married dads.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
kids.
Shout out to the dads that change the diapers without being asked to. That's huge. Just change the diaper for your kid, okay? My husband, he's good at that. He's an amazing husband. He changes diapers, he burped babies and spit up, and he folds
Good.
laundry and does dishes and does the cooking. He's really, yeah, I give him props as a husband. Major props for that. He's probably a better wife than I am because I don't like the
But
wifey
Morgan,
things, but
you're awesome
yes,
in your own way.
I am awesome. I am awesome. Yes, I am.
Everybody watching this live stream, you're all awesome in your own way. So don't ever
Yes,
compare yourself to another person.
that's right.
Because you're you for a reason. So.
That's right. I love that. Let's see. I'm sure.
We're gonna keep going. We gotta stop him.
I know he's just gonna distract us. Stop it, Keegan. Some more diaper talk.
He's a cool guy.
He's awesome. I know. Oh man, what time is it? My God, is it 10 already? 10:05? Have we been doing this for an hour and a half?
I guess so. Talking about
wow. Talking about poopy diapers. That's funny. Is Morgan awesome though? I'm definitely. I'm way more than awesome. What's a better word than awesome?
Whatever word it is to you.
I'm awesome sauce. Okay. You can't get much more awesome than awesome sauce.
I like that.
Yeah. Here to keep it fun. Yes. We love interaction on the lives. We love it. Yep. Oh man. Well, this was good. Yeah. I like this.
And we're still open
to other things and yeah.
Yeah. And we're still open to any time that you guys jump on these things. Mm-hmm. Anything that you want us to cover as far as topics. I know some of you guys sent us a couple, and so we picked the vibration one to go with today. But anything we talk about or haven't talked about that you want to see covered, let us know. Comment on here. PM either one of us, let us know, and we'll definitely do those. Also, in case you're watching this now and you didn't watch the first one, you can go on YouTube. I'm linking all those, or you can just go on transcendwellnessok.com on my website, and I'm actually putting all of the lives I'm saving there so that you can have them all in one area on a playlist, so you can just go back and click through them.
That was super smart. Yeah.
I just trying to get them in one area so that if somebody missed them, they can go back and watch them. So we'll be live every Wednesday night at 8:30-ish is what we say. But
ish.
At 8:30-ish.
Depending
on technical difficulties, once we get figured out.
Everything in my life is ish. Like, it's ish.
Divine timing, right?
I'm never on time anywhere. But then I'm like, but time's not even real. So I'm there whenever I need to be. Like, is it Gandalf that says, like, a wizard is never late. He's always right on time or something? I'm like, that's like me. I'm just on time wherever I am.
Yeah, I don't know. I tell people all the time, like if they're worried about being late, like it's fine. Like you're gonna get there when you're supposed to get there because you could be avoiding a car wreck or whatever. You don't even know.
Yeah.
So
That's why I love you
everyone.
so much. Yeah, because I'm always late to my appointments, and you're like, it's fine. I'm like,
So just every Wednesday we're gonna do our lives at 8:30. So be sure to tune in. And like I said, we'll kind of try to do either the day of or the day before. Reveal to you what we're going to talk about that night, so you can make sure to catch it, the topic that we're covering.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any questions, just let us know. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we wrap it up? Like anything we're missing? I feel like there was something else.
I feel like we covered a lot, plus some extra stuff.
Yeah.
Just venture off to diaper stuff. Poopy diapers. You never know. That's the beauty of lives, is it goes where it needs to.
Yeah.
But no, I
think
we're good. Yeah. Thank you.
Interacting. This is why we do this. So
yes, we love it.
What did Keegan say? I'm here to keep it fun. Honestly, I didn't know you could have two people live streaming at once. So very cool. Thanks for the laugh. I hope you guys can listen to the live stream. Awesome, ladies.
Thanks, Keegan.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I've got. Oh, I was going to tell them about the course I have on Saturday. If they want to sign up.
Yeah. Do that.
It's a vibration. So, I'm hosting on Saturday. It's called Mind is the Matter. And this series specifically is for PTSD, anxiety, and depression series. So it's an online event. It's going to be this Saturday from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're interested in participating, all you need to do is go on to Transcend Wellness's Facebook page events, and you can buy your ticket straight in there. And then I'll make sure you get added to the
Nice.
That's what we're working about, rewiring the mind, like what we were talking about at the beginning of this video. In case you've just been watching it, go back and watch the beginning because there's some good stuff.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, have a good night.
You too. All right. See you next week.
Guys.
Bye.